Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is my day 19 foundation and I'm going to feature the Givenchy Prism Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. I'm also going to be doing a try-on haul. I've got a bunch of new products from Sephora and Ulta recently and I wanted to play with them and show you guys how they perform on my skin. I do have combination oily skin if you are curious about how the Givenchy foundation wears. And if you want to see all of the goodies that I did pick up recently. While we're at it, let's go ahead and just hit the subscribe button so you all don't miss what's coming up next. I'm going to do basically like a part 2. I'm going to do my day 20 foundation and I'm going to do a try on haul with that video as well because there's just been so many launches that I'm so excited about. And this is the completed look and this is actually after a little bit of wear, but we'll get into all that. You'll get to see how this foundation applies and all of my thoughts on all these new products. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you do enjoy it. The first product that we're going to try out today is from YSE Beauty. I was bombarded with ads about this. They got me. It was super expensive, but I wanted to give it a go and we're going to try it for the first time today. It's the Wide Awake Brightening Eye Cream. Pretty sure this brand is from the actress Molly Sims. This is what the product looks like when you press up. And it's supposed to be just a brightening eye cream that you could use on its own and not have to use concealer on days where you're just going to go for very minimal makeup. And I'm always looking for good summer products that I can use. Look, alive. Or wide awake in this case. I'm just going to use that much and we're going to blend it in and we'll let it sit while I continue on with eye makeup. But as you can see, it definitely has pigment to it. I think it would look very, very nice with just a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer. Just to give a little bit of hydration, and it does give a little bit, just a teeny bit of coverage with the pigment that it has in it. It cancels out a little bit of the blue and purple under the eyes. I think it looks really nice. I can't wait to see how concealer lays on top of this, but we're going to let that kind of sink in. The next product was a repurchase. It's the Brow Harmony Flexible Lifting Gel from Rare Beauty. I don't know what else I can say about this product other than it is my favorite. So I will continue to repurchase because I want to have it in my collection at all times. I just take whatever's on the spoolie and put it on both brows. Back and forth motions just to coat all the brow hairs. And then I'll go back and kind of lay them down. This brow gel's amazing. Honestly, I've never found anything better. Doesn't mean I won't try and see if I can find other good products for you guys in the future, but I'm just saying as of right now, this is the best I've ever found. Listen guys, this is my first day off. Let me rephrase that. This is my first full day off in several days. I worked 5 nights in a row. I was off last night, but I slept until 6 p.m. when my husband came home from work. That's how sleepy I was. 5 nights in a row is just way too much when you're working night shift and 12-hour shifts. I'm still working on the old schedule where I was trying to help out and pick up as much overtime as I could. But that is about to end and I'm not picking up any more overtime the rest of the summer because I have not done one summer thing yet with my family. We've just recently bought a fishing boat and it's time for us to have some time off and spend time with each other. It's just been very, very chaotic at work. I'm ready for a break. I think I deserve that. We're going to let the brow gel do its thing while I move on to primer. And I'm going to also use the Rare Beauty eye primer because I did repurchase this. These are 2 products from Rare Beauty that I cannot go without in my collection. I just have to have them. I'm going to use the BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N16 brush to blend it out. This is just a beautiful, soft, weightless eye primer that gives hydration but also smooths the eyelids out really well. Alright, I went ahead and set the eye primer down with a little bit of translucent powder. My daughter has an appointment today with her dentist at 3:30 for a cleaning. So I've got groceries, I've got laundry, dishes to catch up on, lots of stuff. So we're going to put this foundation today through a very long wear test. But first, let's show you everything I got from Patrick Ta. Just to get this out of the way, I did get a little duster bag and it's cute. I don't know what I would actually use it for. I think it would be good to give away as a gift, possibly, or put something in it, you know what I mean? Patrick Ta Major Glow Luminous Bronzing Body Oil. I just redid my self-tan, but I think this would be really nice in the summertime when you're wanting to just give an extra little bit of glow. You know, when you're on vacation and you're getting ready to go out to dinner and you want to look like a bronze goddess, that's what that's giving. So I can't wait to try that out. Let me show you some other stuff that I got. Major Dimension Eye Illusion Shadow Duo in We Need Better Lighting. This is now the 4th option that I have in this formula. And I really felt like I was missing a very bright inner corner shade. So now I have a silver leaning and a very light gold shade for the inner corner, which is perfect. These are beautiful. I love the formula. I do have the other options like Do You Know Who I Am, which is another gold option, but much deeper. Still at the Club. I love this one. It's very beautiful, chocolatey brown. And Talk to My Team, which is also a very light pink and then a gold and pink shifting shade. I love that I have all those options. The other one in the range, the really bright pink one, I just don't think I would ever wear that. Now my collection is complete. I do not need any more of the Patrick Ta duos. I did pick up a couple of his brushes that I've wanted to try for a very long time. This one is the contour brush. So it has a more dense and skinny side for contour. I would imagine this would be best for liquids or creams. And then you have this large side that's much more fluffy for bronzer. Can't wait. And then I bought the Precision Blush Duo, and you have a small, dense, kind of like the 109 from BK Beauty. It's very, very similar, maybe just a little bit more fluffy, but I can't wait to try this for blush. And then this side is for powder blush. It's super small, and of course we will also use the nose contour brush, which I love. This is the main free gift that I was wanting because I've never tried his matte eyeshadow formula, so I was excited to get this for free. A $70 eyeshadow palette for free if you spent, I think it was $125 or $150. I'll have to put it on screen for you, but regardless, I've wanted these items in my collection for a while and I was able to get this for free. I can't wait to play with some of the creams and all these other shades. I want to go for a very simple look today because I'm just taking my daughter and running errands. We're just going to kind of play around. I'm so happy that I was able to get this deal and get this palette for free. Let's go ahead and do a eye look really quick. I've pulled out some of my favorite BK Beauty eye brushes. I always like to start with the 212 for my transition shade. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm a little nervous because this looks light in the pan, but we're going to be very careful with this. I'm going to pick up just a little bit. So what I like to do in this case is kind of put it out here first so that most of the pigment is out on the outer part of my eye and then blend it in. But as you can see, it's super pigmented. And I want to go for more of a warm terracotta kind of look today. This palette is called the Rose palette, so a lot of these shades do lean pink. I don't want it to be too harsh or too glam. I kind of just want it to be more everyday appropriate, but still beautiful. All right, now I'm going to go into the lightest shade in the palette. I'm going to pick it up on the same 212, and we're going to blend right above that shade. It kind of looks like a creamy white shade in the pan, but it's a light peachy pink color. So I will have to use another matte to blend out right under my brow bone to highlight my brow bone. As you can see, that just kind of blended it all together, which is what I wanted. I'm going to take this Morphe M331 eye blender brush, and I'm going to go into this more warm terracotta color, and you can see how much pigment is on that brush. I want to leave it right here. So I'm just tapping. That's where I want most of the pigment. It's out in the outer V, so just tap it. And then softly blend it up into your crease. They are super pigmented eyeshadows, so just be careful not to use too much. Out here, I just kind of take what's left on the brush and softly blend, and I kind of go at an angle so that it'll give a lifted look, but we also use a wipe at the end to clean it all up. Now I'm going to take the deepest brown matte on the BK Beauty 208 angled liner brush. We're just going to kind of stamp this on as the start of our eyeliner. These are very, very pigmented. I can't get over this formula. It's really nice. You can go into the cream formulas. I think I'll go into the deepest one first on the 208. When I swatched these, they felt very emollient. I don't think these are a favorite, but they work in a pinch. If you forget your eyeliner, you could definitely make this work. I'm going to take the A504 from BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. So I just kind of mixed these two shades together in a very, very small amount. And I'm going to just kind of go over the line that we just created and soften it a little bit. All right, let's use a wipe and clean that really quick. Beautiful. Just looks very nice and soft. I would like to take the 212 again and blend that lightest shade, the light pink, right above, just to soften one more time. I am going to take the NYX Glitter Primer because this is a repurchase and I can't live without this in my collection as well. So I just take it, warm it up on my finger, and then tap it where I'm going to place my shimmers. Trying to figure out if I want to use any of the shimmers from this palette or just use the Illusion Duos. Let me show you a couple of these. I'll kind of see on my finger what I think. Here are some of the shimmers from the palette. I really like this one. This one's more pink, this one's more gold, and this one's more copper, like copper orange. Yeah, I really like this one. I think I'll use, yeah, let's use it right here. It's definitely a lot like the shade from Talk to My Team. It's got a gold and pink shift. We're going to use Do You Know Who I Am and We Need Better Lighting. I'm going to use a little bit of the bottom gold shade first. I use them on the tip of my finger. Here's what it looks like. Very beautiful gold. And I want it out here. And then I'm going to use the top gold shade. It's a little bit lighter. Now I'm going to go into We Need Better Lighting. I'm going to use this light gold towards the center and inner corner. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of the silver with the gold and use this on the inner corner. And then I'll bring it up a little bit into that transition. I want to focus it mainly in the inner corner. Beautiful. Okay, I'm very, very happy with my purchase. Okay, eyes are almost done. I'm going to use the MAC Eye Kohl in Costa Riche. This is also a repurchase. I love this so much, especially for tight lining. Definitely a little bit more glam than I wanted to go today, but that's okay. I'm only going to use primer on one side of my face today, but in order to give this foundation a really good chance, I am going to apply a little bit of the Yummy Skin Water Powder Serum from Danessa Myricks. I'm going to take a little bit of this just to give my foundation a really good shot, because this helps kind of smooth out my skin, and it also helps keep the oil and shine at bay for several hours. So what I'll do is I'll add this all over, and then I'll just add the primer on one side of my face, and we'll see if we notice a difference between both sides. That's what I usually like to do with my foundation reviews, or sometimes I'll try to use a really good primer that I know works really well. But for today, I want to try a primer that I've had in my collection for a while, but I've only tried it one time. So I wanted to pull it back out today. And since I've only used it once, let's consider that new, okay? And that will sink in while I do mascara. And I'm going to use the Clio Kill Lash Super Proof Volume Curling Mascara. This is the black tube. They do have a couple different options. I did purchase this red one. I'll put it up on screen for you. I will try that soon, but for now I'm going to use this mascara up. I have another new mascara that I've ordered and I'll be trying it soon, and it's a viral drugstore mascara is all I'm going to say. I have a few more things that are on the way, and I'll probably do another video similar to this. I'll do a try-on haul, also another day foundation. So this is day 19. I will do day 20 here soon as all the items arrive. This is the Clio Kill Lash, and I have used it several times, but I wanted to show you guys again how wonderful this mascara truly is. It lifts your lashes so beautifully. It holds curl all day long, and once I let it dry and I recurl my lashes, it looks like I have false lashes on. I have gotten a couple compliments lately on my lashes at work, and it's when I've worn this mascara. Alright, before I fill in my brows, I'm going to go ahead and put primer on one side. This is the Dolce & Gabbana Everlast Primer. It says 24-hour blurred matte, pore minimizing, 2x makeup wear. This packaging is so stunning. I purchased this at the same time that the foundation launched. It is a beautiful gold luxurious frosted glass bottle, and then it has the same heart as their Devotion perfume. So here you see the primer. I'm going to kind of work it into my fingers really quick, and we'll apply it to this side. While I work on my brows, I'm going to let this sink in before we apply foundation. I'm so excited for today's foundation. I've been waiting to try this on camera with you guys. I've had it for a little while now. I just haven't had time to film with it. Okay, I definitely feel like this blurred and softened my skin. I feel like you can still see my pores, but it's definitely softened everything. For brows today, I do have a new brow pencil. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Brow Liner 1mm nano pencil, and I bought it in the shade medium brown. I hope this is going to be good for me. It looks a little dark, but here's what the pencil itself looks like. It's super skinny, and it comes with the spoolie on one end and then the super microfine pencil. Goodness gracious, that is tiny. I'm going to do a little swatch on the palm of my hand because I just did my self-tanner and I don't want to mess up anything, but that shade looks pretty good. I'm not going to twist it up a lot because I'm afraid it'll break. These pencils are notorious for that. Oh, I love how precise this is. It reminds me of the Benefit Precisely My Brow Detailer pen, which I have repurchased. It's on its way. I feel like with that product, as soon as I got the hang of how to use it, it ran out. So I'm excited to put it back in my collection and try it again. Let's do just a few little flicks. I feel like medium brown is a very good shade. I was worried by the box looking a little too dark, but no, it looks really good. I have learned recently to go back and forth between both sides because I have two different brow shapes and I'm trying to make them look as even as possible. So I kind of work back and forth between both sides and then try to make it look as even as possible. I haven't had to twist it up yet, so that's good. I really like this. I always like to save room for my lift and snatch at the end, so that's good. I really like the shade. I like how precise it is. I have nothing bad to say. I really enjoyed that brow pencil. Pleasantly surprised. I can't get over my hair's trying to fall, but I'm trying to let my self-tan dry before I let my hair down, so just ignore it. Okay? Okay. Moving on to foundation, I have the Givenchy Prism Libre Glow Serum Foundation, and I bought it in the shade 3C. This was definitely viral for quite a while, and it was hard to find a shade that was in stock. I was able to purchase 3C, and I think this will work. I have my mixing medium if I need to add it, but I think this might work for me. And I'm excited to try it. I've been waiting anxiously to try this with you guys. So let's see what 3C looks like. I just did a pump in my hand, and it's supposed to be a cool pink leaning shade. It's going to look different on my palm compared to the back of my hand, but I don't know. I don't see much of a pink undertone in my opinion, but I guess I can. Like, I can see a little bit of pink. I'm going to put a little bit of this down my neck here and see if I think it'll work on its own or if I need to add in a little bit of my pigments. I did 2 more pumps, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of the white from LA Girl. And then I have some brushes that I want to show you guys that I purchased from BK Beauty. We have lots of new things to try in this video, and I also have a lot of new things that we will try in the next video. You know, working all this overtime, I was able to afford me some new stuff, which makes me very happy. All right, I mixed in a little bit of the white to kind of neutralize it a little bit. And then I'm going to use the BK Beauty 115 brush. This is the Core Complexion Trio. So we have a brush that I could use for foundation, concealer, one that I could use for like cream contour, bronzer. Lots of options today. So I'm going to put some of this into the brush. Let's do the side without primer first. I've been loving the technique of priming my brushes before applying with all things, with concealer, foundation, contour. It just makes it so much smoother in my opinion. And wow, this shade is like perfect, adding just a little bit of the white. Matches really well. I could go a little bit deeper with my self-tan, but this is my self-tan as it's drying. I will rinse it off and it won't be so dark. So I don't really want to match this yet with my foundation. I'll match it with contour and bronzer, if that makes sense. So whatever was in that brush has covered my whole cheek on this side. Without primer, it kind of looks like it's sitting on top of my pores, but that's kind of typical with luminous foundations. But once you add powder, it usually goes away. Usually smooths itself out. That is one light layer of the Givenchy foundation on this cheek. And this brush is phenomenal. It's between the 109 and the 101. Here is the 101. You see how big that is? This one's like medium size. Then you have the little baby 109. So this one's the middle sister. And I love it so much. It's like the perfect size. I feel like they were very smart to create something in the middle. It's giving medium coverage. It's giving that natural glow. I like it. I got a lot left in my hand here. Let's do the other side now that we use primer. I think what I'll do is I'll add another pump of the foundation and use my Stands Out sponge to press that in, and that'll give a little bit more of an accurate color. This is just a smidge too light, adding in the pigment, but it just looks really natural, which I can appreciate in the summertime, and it feels very lightweight. You can definitely see that glow. So you can see I used most of the foundation up. I'm going to put one, I think that was more like a half a pump, but anyway. I'm going to take the Stands Out sponge and put the foundation into the sponge like this and just go over my entire face, just to add a little bit more of that 3C shade to darken it a little bit. I've seen so many people rave about this and say that it works on their combo skin. So we're giving it a good go. I'm not noticing a difference between the primer side and the not primed side because this foundation is just so glowy. It's not really going to matter. I'm going to let that dry down a little bit, and then I'm going to move on to contour. I'm going to use the Rare Beauty Liquid Contour in the shade Solace. I also have the shade Serene, but once I'm able to get out in the sun, that will be the shade. But for now, I use Solace, and I actually did repurchase it. It should be here soon. And I'm going to show you two different brushes with this product. So right now, I'm just going to dot it on. Do a dot here. Take a little bit to contour my nose. And a little bit on the bottom lip. I'm going to use this side of the Patrick Ta. I think I want to use it on my forehead. I want to use the 116 from BK Beauty on my cheeks because I just feel like it would be really good to keep that product back here. It's very, very small and precise. I don't know, I just wanted to try them both, so that's what we're going to do. I love this Rare Beauty contour. It's so good. God, I love it. And then I'll use the Patrick Ta now to blend out on my forehead. It's very nice too. It's a little bit more dense than the big side, and it's a little bit skinnier, so it's perfect to fit right here at the hairline. I really like that. Very nice. I'm going to take the nose contour brush, and I use the small side first to kind of blend right here. Just kind of spread it a little bit, and then I'll take it on the bottom lip, and then I'm going to flip it around and just softly diffuse. For concealer today, I want to try out the Sarah Creel Face Flex Concealer, and I bought it in the shade 2.0 Fair Warm. There are not a lot of shades in this, you guys, and I thought 2 would be the best. I'm a little concerned, but we're going to go for it, and I'm going to do the same technique, just put some in my hand. See how warm it is? As a concealer, I'm not so sure. So I have this brush from BK Beauty. It's the 114, and you're supposed to be able to use one side for concealer and the other side for the powder. I'm going to use this under the eyes a little bit, but then I might move on to the one from Angie Hot and Flashy. This is, again, the shade 2.0 Fair Warm. And I wanted to go with 3, but I was afraid it would be just way too dark because there's just not very many shades to choose from. And I've watched some other reviews and they say it gets really dark quick. So I just wanted to be careful and choose something a little bit lighter than I would have thought. I'm pretty happy with the shade that I chose, but at first I thought, oh god, it's going to be way too warm. But as you can see, it's neutralizing all the purple veins under my eyes. And so far, just tapping it with this brush, it's looking really good. I think it's a little hard to be precise with this type of brush, but I'm liking it. Everyone raves about this concealer. I've seen so many good reviews about it. I'm just really curious to form my own opinions. I'm taking whatever's left on my hand, which is not much. I'm priming the A506 from BK Beauty with the very little bit that's left. And I just want to use that to get in the inner corner and near my lash line to make sure that I've gotten to every area that I need to cover. For blush, I have the Patrick Ta Double Take Cream and Powder in the shade She's Seductive. And this one looks a little bit more beige, a little bit more rosy than Not Too Much. So we're going to take the cream first, and I'm going to use the Precision blush brush for this. We're going to pack that into the brush. I'm going to tap some of the excess on the palm of my hand. And you can see it does have that beige tone to it, which I love. I feel like I can tap into this one and not have to tap off the excess. Let's just try it, okay? Yeah, I feel like the shade's super forgiving, so you don't have to worry, in my opinion, about using too much. It's very blendable. I'm just kind of taking it up into the eye look. Okay, I'm going to go back into the Stands Out sponge to press around the edges. Make sure we're nice and blended. Okay, I think that blush will look a little bit more intense when we use the powder side, but that just melted right in. Everything's looking very glowy, but we're about to fix that. I have the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for under eyes. I've wanted to try this for years, and I've always talked myself out of it, but today's the day. We are going to give it a go. It looks super finely milled. I'm going to put it in my puff from Amazon. Yeah, it's super finely milled, a lot like my Uma Beauty Trip and Smooth. What I'm going to do is take my Real Technique sponge to tap out any creases. You can see them on this side. It's settling a little bit. Hopefully if we get all the excess with the sponge, we won't have to worry about creasing. Supposedly this is a very good concealer that won't crease. I didn't put any on my nose, which I probably should. I will do that in just a second. All right, let's set this side. I like that a lot. It looks really good. I love that. So good. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of the concealer down the center of my nose to brighten a little bit, but as you can see, it's really just not that much of a brightening shade for me. I just want to try it out, see what I think about it. For powder today, I did get a little sample of the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, the original. It's been a long time since I've used this product, so I wanted to give it a go today since I'm using her under eye brightening powder. Figured why not? Let's try this. It's a little teeny tiny amount of product, so I'm just trying to get it to come out in the cap, but very small amount. I'm going to use this little Morphe powder puff to set my face. The powder is a little bit on the yellow side, but that's okay. I've always felt like this was a really good powder. It's just through the years, other powders have come out that just kind of took the place of this, in my opinion, but it is a nice powder. But I don't want to use a lot of this because I do have one more powder to try out. Let's cut out some of this shine right here in between my brows. For powder bronzer, I'm going to use the Polite Society. It's the Cabana Club Blurring Bronzer. The shade I have is Club Tropicana, and I'm going to use it on the fluffy side of the Patrick Ta brush. I'm just going to pack that in to the brush. And we're going to bronze up the skin. I feel like I have used this formula. This is not a first impression, but I haven't used it a lot because I feel like it's very buildable. Once you get it built up, it looks very pretty, but I don't know if it's the formula or what, but it takes a while for the pigment to build on itself. I'm not sure. I feel like it's a nice bronzer. Maybe I just need another shade in it. Once you build it up, it does look beautiful, but for some reason it just takes a while to build it up. We're going to go into the powder side now of the She's Seductive blush from Patrick Ta, and I'm using the fluffy side of the Precision Blush Brush. So there you can see the pigment on the brush. Going in with a little bit more. I feel like this shade's perfect for people that just want a very soft, neutral blush. Not too much is also a favorite, but this one is a close second. Like I said, this one's a little bit more beigey, but it also has a little rose tone to it. Not too much is more of a warm, peachy nude. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tap a little bit more of the cream blush on now, just to make it pop a little bit more. Okay, now we have another powder to try from Makeup Forever. This is the HD Skin Perfecting Pressed Powder, and it's in the shade Translucent. It comes with a sponge, and it is just like a black thin sponge, but we'll use it, we'll try it. Just for the sake of trying new things, we'll give it a go. Whoa, where do I want to use this? Let's use this in the center here to kind of blur out the pores, hopefully. Kind of just pressing this in to see what it's capable of. And I would say it is definitely smoothing the skin. I would say this is really nice to use as a finishing powder. Let's try the puff that I was using with the Laura Mercier and carve under here a little bit with this powder. Okay, now I want to take it on a brush. I'm going to use this brush from Morphe Ariel A3.2. Let's use this powder to softly blur around that blush. And around the brows. And I'm going to take my little IT Cosmetics brush with nothing on it just to kind of blend all that together. Got me a pimple that I didn't realize I had till just now. I would have covered it. God. Let me show you a little trick. If you have a pimple like this, take a powder that's similar to your skin tone. And just tap around it. Before I move on to lips, I want to use a little bit of this Huda Beauty Easy Bake Setting Spray, and then I might use a little bit more, we'll see. But it says to shake it really well. Let's see what the mist looks like. Okay. I definitely got a little bit of water droplets on my face, but usually I can just try to press them in. I don't think it has affected anything. I think it looks fine, but I definitely noticed them. So I would say it's not my favorite setting spray, but we'll see how everything wears. For today, I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheek Contour Duo in the shade Medium. This is the Sculpt shade. Okay, now we're going to use the Fill side. And then instead of wearing lipstick today, I just want to try this on its own, the YSL Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil Gloss, and I have it in the shade Lucky Moonstone, which is 2. Beautiful packaging. Based on the swatches online, I thought this was going to be more of like a nudie, shimmery gloss, but definitely is a little bit of a pink shade. So that's why I wanted to wear it with the Charlotte Tilbury to make it look a little bit more nude. I love the applicator on this. These don't smell the greatest, I will say that, but they feel really good. I do want to add a little bit more. Yeah, these have a little bit of a weird smell. Like they kind of smell fruity, and then they have like the little hint of spice. I'm going to do a little bit of NYX Lift and Snatch. Okay, I can definitely feel the tingle on my lips now, and they're looking a little bit more red as I sit here. Definitely has a plumping formula. Okay, I just went ahead and added my Lancome Lash Idol Mascara to the lower lashes. Finished up the eyebrows. And I went ahead and recurled my lashes. So now I was trying to debate if I needed to add a little bit of something to the inner corner. I think I'm going to use this. This is from Catrice, the Diamond Haze Highlighter. We'll just add a little bit of that to the inner corner. Just to brighten it up a little bit. Alright, I'm going to go let my hair down and I'll be right back to show you the completed look. Okay, this is the completed look. Put my hair back behind my ears so you can see. The glow of that foundation is already peeking through and I just completed my look. So that just shows you how combo my skin truly is. I used primer on this side and I used no primer on this side, and you can't really tell a difference. That's just how it goes, but we're going to hope for the best and hope that this will look good throughout the day. I just wanted to finish by showing you my new perfume. It's Jo Malone, the Beach Blossom. I've heard really good things about this, so I went ahead and purchased it in the travel size. Oh yeah, it smells just like summer. It smells like coconut, a little bit of a musky floral, but also some of that coconut smell. Oh my gosh. It reminds me a lot of Miami Nectar, which is this one from Ellis Brooklyn. I want to see how it layers with the new one. This is the Guava Granita. Just adding both. Let's see. Yes. That smells heavenly. Okay. Get up close so you can see one final look at the skin and the eyes, everything. Today is mostly going to be about the foundation, but I wanted to show you everything that I got recently and do a little try-on haul for you. So this is the completed look with everything. I will say my lips are not tingling now like they were, but there for a minute they were like intense. So just keep that in mind with the YSL Love Shine. It definitely has a plumping factor to it. The under eyes, they look pretty good. So far, so good with the concealer. And yeah, let's just go about our day and see how it turns out. It's almost 4:30, so I've had this makeup on for over 6 hours now. And as you can see, it's just very dewy. This is how glowy foundations wear on my skin type, where I have larger pores. It just accentuates that, and it looks really good from a distance. And it just looks like I have really healthy, glowy skin, but I like to make my skin look a little bit more smooth, a little bit more blurred, and this is just, hang on, let me get some better lighting here. This is just not what I would consider a smoothing, blurring foundation for me, for my skin type. I'm sure it does for certain people, but for me, it's just a no. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I just don't love it. And the concealer, no. For $58, this is a heck no. My under eyes look super dry and creased. It looks terrible. I will try it again without the Laura Mercier powder and just give it another shot, but as of right now, I do not love this concealer at all. I would say the brows still look pretty good. I love the eye look. It's really beautiful. The lip liner still looks great. I did put some of the Summer Fridays lip butter balm on while we were out and about, but
your ball's on the couch. No, it's right there.
copper.
Come here. The ball.
What did you do? Oh, get my head. Oh, yeah. Come here. Sit. Sit. Want a pickleball? Oh, God.
Get on the couch. You want to? You want to? Get on the couch. Sit. They're crunchy.
Mm-hmm. Them are good, aren't they? Okay, guys. We are at 11 hours. It is 9 p.m. The sun is almost completely down now. Taking Copper on his last walk of the evening. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the Givenchy foundation. It's just okay. It's not something I would recommend for people with skin like mine. I think it's a beautiful foundation. It's just not worth that price point because of the longevity. Like, it's not going to wear very long. It's not breaking apart or anything. It looks kind of heavy around my pores and my texture. It's just not a favorite. Now, the concealer is kind of the same thing. I'm feeling the same. It's very expensive. I don't feel like it's any better than my Ritual Defee. The setting spray I don't think did anything to help it out. I love the eyes, I love the brows, and I loved the lip products. But, okay, now we're getting in a little bit better lighting, but alright, well, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I'm going to say bye, guys. Just kidding. I decided to turn the camera back on one last time before I took off today's makeup. That way you could see close up how it was looking after 12 hours. I like this foundation, but I just don't think it's worth $61. And something I forgot to mention is that it's heavily fragranced. I was able to blot most of the shine away, so that was great. I would say if you have normal or dry skin that you would love this, but for me, I loved the way it felt more than how it looked. I have tried the Sarah Creel Concealer 2 more times with different skincare and different powders, and it still looks heavy and it creases. It's crazy how a concealer can wear so different on everyone. I would say skip on it if you have similar concerns. The setting spray was also a dud. It did nothing, in my opinion. I really enjoyed everything else that I tried today. The YSL Lip Oil Gloss is a new favorite. It does start to get sticky if you try to keep on applying it throughout the day, but if you only apply it once, you will get that plumping effect, and then you can reapply something like the Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balms. Can't wait to try out some more new goodies with you all soon. Be on the lookout for that video coming up, and I hope you all have a really great day. Bye.